Hey friends, it is day 2 of our Lent journey, and we're talking about the 40 things to give up during Lent and beyond. And today, the thing that we are focusing on giving up is our comfort zones. Maybe you've seen this picture. I'm not sure where this picture originates. It's been making its way around the internet for some time. And the message is simple, the point is clear. Not much is going to change until we get out of our routine. Maybe you've heard the definition of insanity. It's a cliche. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But moving past what we know, moving past what is comfortable to us, what is familiar, it is not an easy thing to do. Many of us, we love the idea of change, but what we don't love is change itself. We go back to the Old Testament when the Israelites were freed from their slavery in Egypt. They were wandering in the desert for 40 years, and not long after they left Egypt, they wanted to go back. They wanted to return. And how crazy was that? But Egypt, it wasn't something that they loved, but it was something that they knew. We read from Exodus chapter 16, verses 2 through 3. This is Moses writing here as he tells the story. He says, the whole congregation of Israel, the whole people of Israel, grumbled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the people of Israel said to them, would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the meat pots and ate bread to the full, for you have brought us into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Now again, there was no going back. After 40 years of living in the desert, they entered into the promised land. But entering into the promised land meant stepping out of what they knew in Egypt. It might seem like it would have been easy to leave Egypt behind in their slavery. And again, they certainly didn't love Egypt, but Egypt was what they knew. Now, how about you? What is your Egypt? What is it that you need to leave behind that you don't love, but you have a hard time letting go because it is what you know? Let's start getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, because that's where the magic happens. It's where God is experienced in new ways. It's where life is lived to the fullest and joy is experienced on the journey. The thing about Jesus is when we encounter the biblical Jesus, the Jesus of the Bible, our comfort zones will be challenged. You think about what he did. He's all about new experiences. He called Peter out of the boat. He asked the rich young ruler to give up all his money, all of his possessions. He went against the status quo and called out and challenged the religious establishment of his day. He would later say, foxes have holes and the birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. Jesus isn't necessarily about comfort zones. Jesus does things differently. He has a way of helping us see things with new eyes. The truth is, there's no going back to Egypt for us. The question is, will we embrace the journey to the promised land? The more we let Jesus be our guide, the sweeter the journey becomes. I pray that you've had a blessed Lenten journey so far, and look forward to sharing with you tomorrow, the day 3, 40 things to give up for Lent.